Okay, so there you have Hardeep Puri giving the government's perspective on the central vista. Let's turn from there to the other big political story that's building up, or the political conflict building up. Mamata Banerjee versus Narendra Modi. The face-off has escalated with every single day. Caught in this tug-of-war is the Bengal Chief Secretary Alapan Bandyopadhyay, who on Monday, the Bengal government refused to send to Delhi as on central deputation as demanded by the Modi government. Later in the evening, Mamata Banerjee went a step further, announced that her top bureaucrat was retiring and will now serve for the next 3 years as her advisor. The centre reportedly is mulling action against the former chief secretary. Here's our other big story.
Days after Cyclone Yas, politics over it has stormed centre-state relations. Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has crossed swords with the Narendra Modi government after her chief secretary was recalled to Delhi. Alapan Bandyopadhyay, the top bureaucrat of the state, in the end defied the central diktat. On a day he was supposed to report to Delhi's North Block, Bandyopadhyay opted to join Mamata at the Secretariat, Nabana, in Kolkata. Later in the evening, Mamata announced that the Chief Secretary had retired from service.
When I have received the letter, before that, Sri Bandyopadhyay has superannuated from afternoon of 31st May 2021 as his normal date of retirement is 31st May 2021. Hence, his services are no longer available to join the central government tomorrow as given in today's order.
The all-out political war erupted after Mamata skipped Prime Minister Modi's meeting in Bengal last week to review damage caused by Cyclone Yas. Mamata skipped the meeting as the centre had also invited the leader of the opposition and her arch-rival in the election gone by, Shubhendu Adhikari. The Modi government, in a sudden move, recalled Bandyopadhyay, whose extension of service was cleared by the centre earlier, assigning him to the Department of Personnel and Training. Angry over the centre's move, the Bengal Chief Minister shot off a 5-page letter to the Prime Minister describing the decision as political revenge for losing the assembly elections.
This is the blunder of the central government, great blunder. They want to bulldoze the state government totally. They want to play only the political vendetta. Who has taken this decision? This is illegal, unconstitutional.
आपने संविधान की शपथ लेकर के मुख्यमंत्री बने हैं तो आपको संवैधानिक मूल्यों, संवैधानिक संस्थाओं का सम्मान करना ही होगा. अगर आप नहीं करेंगे तो निश्चित तौर से संविधान अपना काम करेगा.
The high-pitched and high-stakes election in West Bengal may be over, but the battle between the TMC and the BJP has outlived the elections, with Mamata Banerjee now appointing her Chief Secretary Alapan Bandyopadhyay as her advisor. This confrontation between the state and the centre is only slated to escalate further. With camera person Ruktim, this is Indrajit for India Today in Kolkata.
So centre versus Bengal government, is this a battle of egos or something more? Why did the centre recall a bureaucrat, a top bureaucrat, after clearing his extension? Is the bureaucrat reportedly guilty of indiscipline, or is a bureaucrat simply caught in a political centre versus TMC crossfire? I'm joined by Jawahar Sircar, former bureaucrat and from the Bengal cadre. He joins me. I'm joined by Sanju Verma, the BJP spokesperson, and Riju Datta, the TMC spokesperson. I want to come to you, Jawahar Sircar, first before we get caught in a political tug-of-war, because as a senior bureaucrat, do you believe this is unprecedented and unfortunate, should never have happened, that a chief secretary is caught in such an escalating war of words?
Yes, of course. No chief secretary has been called. I wouldn't use the word recalled. No chief secretary has been summoned in the history of India to leave his state on the last date of his service and present himself almost like an accused without a posting in the government of India to satisfy some pique or some angst or some ego. You see, I have served both the governments as secretary level, principal secretary level, and I'm fairly neutral, or I think I'm fairly neutral on this score. I've been caught in crossfire. But this is one of the most inane things to have happened, and whoever advised the Prime Minister is obviously not fully literate or plain stupid.
No, that's a very
Because-
strong word. You're saying whoever advised the Prime Minister is not fully literate. Are you saying, therefore, that you believe this has been done only to satisfy the political ego of the Prime Minister?
Absolutely. It's in clear language. 6.1 says that consultation is a must. No state officer of the IAS or IPS can be withdrawn to Delhi, withdrawn by the center, without the formal clearance of the state government. We have all served it. And even when I was chosen, my posting was refused by the state government. Hard luck. We all went through it. That is federalism. We
So
felt very bad about it.
you believe this is counter to the federal spirit? Recalling
Absolutely.
a chief secretary without consulting a state government on the last day of his office
Absolutely.
is
Not
counter
me.
to India's federal spirit? Do you see it
No,
as
no, not me.
unconstitutional?
Not me, Rajdeep. It is the rule that is enshrined and that has worked well for 70 years.
Right.
There have been opposition parties here, there have been opposition parties there. It has worked. Now, all of a sudden, you can't smother rule down. Look what they did today. Everybody knew he was going to retire. Everyone knows that he has not served in Delhi for a single day in his life. So there's no question of recalling him. There's a question of summoning him. Any case, and when the state refuses to let him go for a very justifiable reason, that why should I let him go on the last day? You have issued an order on the 24th of May saying that we extend the service for 3 months for fighting COVID. Now, that's something that the center could do as well. But for fighting COVID, we have extended by 3 months. And then you issue a notice. It's not an order. A notice informing that the appointments committee of the cabinet have decided to have your presence in the DOPT. For what? You are calling one of the senior most IAS officers in India at present and dishonoring him. You're telling him to be there present in some deputy secretary's room. This is not on.
You're
This
using
is
very
not
strong words, and I think that, I think they need to be sort of seen in the context of what is happening. Sanju Verma, respond. This is Jawahar Sircar, himself a former secretary to the government of India, saying the Prime Minister has been led by illiterate officers. This is plain ego. On the last day of a senior officer's tenure, you insist summon him to Delhi after having given him an extension for 3 months. I mean, the Prime Minister's ego and Mamta versus Mamta Banerjee cannot be the reason to treat a chief secretary like a political football.
Rajdeep, you always say you don't want tutu meme debates. I heard your question and Mr. Jawahar Sircar very patiently. I will read out, Rajdeep, and I don't want to be interrupted, a tweet put out by Mr. Jawahar Sircar today at 7:50 p.m. He says he is neutral. Mr. Jawahar Sircar, you are anything but neutral, and your visceral hatred for Narendra Modi is evident from this absolutely stupid and juvenile and illiterate tweet of yours. Since you use strong language, I'm sure you wouldn't mind me dishing that out to you. He writes, Jawahar Sircar's tweet, Rajdeep, another defeat for Modi. West Bengal refuses to release Chief Secretary to report to Delhi on last day of his service, only to please Modi's vanity. He retired with self-respect. CM appoints him advisor for COVID control. Time for Modi to do COVID control and not crush federalism. Mr. Jawahar Sircar, let me first educate you. I think you are the illiterate one here. Point number one, who appoints IAS officers who are deputed to states from the central cadre? Have you read Rule 5, Rule 6.1 and Rule 6.2 of the IAS cadre rules that were laid out way back in 1954? I will give you one more very important rule. When there is a difference of opinion between the center and the state with respect to extension, appointment, dismissal, retirement of an IAS or an IPS officer, we have the All India Service Rules of 1969, Rule number 8, which has been upheld by India's courts when insubordination was done in November 2019 by yet another IAS
Ma'am, can I ask you a simple,
Colonel
Sanju Verma ji?
Gopinathan.
I am asking you a simple question. On the 24th of May, the center agrees to extend the tenure of Allapan Bandyopadhyay by 3 months. What changed between the 24th and the 28th? Apart from the fact that the Prime Minister, that Mamta Banerjee kept the Prime Minister waiting for half an hour. which hit the Prime
Okay.
Minister's ego. Let's
Razi,
call a spade a
I will
spade.
not-
The
Okay,
Prime
let
Minister's
me
ego is
take
hurt. He has every reason to feel hurt. But why target a Chief Secretary for it?
Rajdeep, please, you know, you don't like personal comments, so I wouldn't engage in that kind of banter, but let me answer. I'll take 30 seconds. I told you, I laid out these constitutional rules and the acts, etc. because remember what Mamata Banerjee has said. She has said the Modi government's decision to recall Allapan Bandyopadhyay was illegal and unconstitutional. So Mamata Banerjee, under Article 311 of the Constitution, recalling the Chief Secretary was absolutely a legal and constitutional move, and Modi government has the prerogative. Point number 2, with
It has
respect
not
to
happened in
dismissal,
72 years.
Can
There
I
must be a
please
reason,
finish?
no?
Can I please finish? I did not interrupt you. Please, this is an important topic. Again, let me repeat. With respect to appointments, retirements, deferrals, extensions, when there is a conflict between center and state, Rule 8 of All India Service Rules of 1969 say the center's will shall prevail. I want to ask you one question,
Okay.
Rajdeep. If Allapan Bandyopadhyay took an extension, just 30 seconds, he took an extension on 24th May, as you rightfully pointed out. Now, after taking an extension, his term was supposed to expire only by the end of August 23rd, 2021. Pray tell me, when he has been told to report to the ministry, by 31st of May, to the DOPT, and to come and take charge of department relating to personal grievances and pensions, why did he refuse? Why did he take
Okay.
an extension?
Why don't
then
you know
not come
Riju
to the
Datta?
DOPT?
Riju Datta,
Is
I'm
it
going
not
to do
an
something.
act of
Riju
insubordination?
Datta, I'm going
Is it not
to
an
with
act of
you,
insubordination?
ma'am. You made your point. Riju Datta, with due regard, because I think we had you on the show also yesterday. I'm going to plead that can I get Jawahar Sircar to respond, since he is making many of the points the TMC would. I know that you're on the show, but I'm going to do something I don't normally do. You have to excuse me on this one because I have limited time. I will give you 30 seconds, Riju, to respond. Mamata Banerjee also is guilty of using her chief secretary to settle political scores. How do you respond to that? Riju Datta.
I think I see Rajdeep ji. First of all, I am not going to lecture anything about the technicalities here because Mr. Sircar is here. And to be honest, for the first time, I felt like laughing on your serious show, which is the reputed show, because the BJP spokesperson is giving lecture to an ex-secretary of the government of India on the cadre rules. I mean, it is like me giving lecture to a cardiac surgeon about cardiac surgery. Unbelievable.
Jawahar Sircar is a former
Can I
bureaucrat
finish now?
whose
Can I
visceral hate
finish
is
now?
No, ma'am, you must not interrupt. No, you can't interrupt, ma'am.
You
Please
can
keep the
laugh all you want. I don't care.
Okay.
I laid out the rules.
Okay, so I'm going to stop both of you. Put the politicians,
Rule
mute
6.
both. Because,
Rule-
you know, this is not going to... Jawahar Sircar, you want to respond because you've been today called, unfortunately, and I mean, you also use the word illiterate for the Modi government's advisors. Is it illiteracy or is it pure
Look.
politics being played out?
Look, there's a saying in Bengali, telling mother all about her sister. I mean, it is just, I have served the government for 42 years in absolute neutrality. I resigned from the post. Any case, now the short point is
You are not
the
neutral.
conflict clause
Please
that
don't
is being
hallucinate.
raised.
Ma'am,
the
no, you
conflict
can't
clause-
tell Sanju Varman on this show, no cross-talk. Go ahead.
There is a conflict clause that is being raised. Conflict clause comes in only when the question of a conflict. It's just a difference of opinion. The state government has asked Mr. Modi's government, which of your order is correct? 24th May or the later one? Which is correct? Do you extend him his service or do you want him in Delhi? It's politely asked about it. This is what is called a difference of opinion. A conflict is a far higher thing. You know, if you take every dissent to be anti-national, you get into this sort of mental frame. I don't know who has briefed this lady who was reading out from a piece of paper. Again, this briefer. Now, this is a conflict clause comes at the last stage. Every fever is not COVID. Please try to understand. Every fever is not COVID. Every difference of opinion is not a conflict. So you can invoke the conflict clause only when certain things are met.
Let me leave it there. I know, I wish I had more time. I know, I unfortunately went over on my first question, so I don't have enough time. I'm sure this is going to build up, and we will come back to take questions, get questions answered from both sides. But for now, what's happening in Bengal versus the center is deeply unfortunate for our federal structure.